Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
Facts. Boots.
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, The Boy Wonder, Part 2.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the most marvelous man himself, Mr. Mike.
Hello.
I couldn't do
It
himself,
doesn't
didn't work.
matter. Yeah, it
I was
doesn't
trying to
matter
go
at
for
this
as much
point.
alliteration as possible.
Yeah,
We talked about it before. Maybe we haven't. The very first issue, I think we have, of or one of the first issues of Spider-Man, Stan Lee forgot Peter Parker's name, and he calls him Peter Palmer halfway through.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. That's a nice little tidbit to get you into.
There was no way to look it up.
Well, no, he could have. What did I name him again?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, well, now I'm getting very nerdy. I got another volume of my early Fantastic Four of like the first I have the first 10 issues like collected.
Okay.
I got the next. So I have like 1 through 20 of the Kirby and Lee stuff, and I love
Very
that.
cool.
Anyway,
Yeah.
off that aside, welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes.
Howdy.
That's Mike. I'm Zach. We have for you today part 2 of our story, The Boy Wonder, which is the last of our Robin stories. Although I think
Getting super
I
close.
think Mike might not admit it, but I think that there's some of it he might like. What parts of it
This
you'll have
one's
to
a lot
find out.
closer. Yeah, this one's a lot closer.
What parts of it you'll have to find later in this week, because that's what we're going to do is we're going to
Yeah.
finally go over Mike's Robin ratings. Let me get you on the other side over here.
I think I pointed at you a while ago, but I was really pointing this way.
Yeah, well, I'm fixed now.
That's fine.
But let's go ahead and without further ado then, because
So this is well, anyway. go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah.
I know. I got you.
oh, did you skip ahead? Did you figure
Well,
something
I just
out?
turned one page. That's all I did. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you knew it was somebody.
Well, you might not know who it is.
Okay.
I want to
Maybe
see
I
your
don't.
guesses.
Maybe I don't.
Let's go ahead and get into The Boy Wonder issue 4. We're going to cover issue 4 and 5 for part 2 today to wrap up the story real quick. No, I think I kind of covered everything with Ra's al Ghul last week. I was trying to think of if I needed to cover everything before we
He's a
get into this.
meanie.
He is a meanie. It'll dive into his and Talia's story. Here's what we're
Sure.
going to get into more now. But without further ado, issue 4 of The Boy Wonder by Juni Ba.
Quattro.
So, it does open up, and yes, Joe finally does take the bag off Merle's head. Well, who do you think that is?
I think it's the other Robin.
You think it's the
Isn't,
fifth Robin?
What's her name?
Stephanie Brown?
Isn't that who that is?
It's not Stephanie Brown, no.
okay.
Stephanie
Who is
Brown
it?
has blonde hair. That's,
is that?
That's Merle.
Merle who?
You will find out who it is by the end of the series.
Hey.
So, but he finally takes the bag off, and he takes his mask off too, because it's like, with each story they're becoming, like closer and closer.
Yeah.
And she realizes that he is not a bad guy. He doesn't mean any harm. It's just a bad situation, and this whole thing, I think, obviously feels bad that he's like, like it is where it's gotten.
Okay.
And so he's telling her, is like, it's just, you remind me of my kid, is what he tells her. He's like, don't know if I can still like call myself a dad after I left
Yeah.
and did the things I did.
Yeah.
And that's where Merle looks at him and goes, even if you stop parenting, I don't know if you can ever stop being a parent.
Yeah, exactly.
And he smirks and he goes, let me guess, you got a story? And she goes, you can count on, and he's like, all right. She
Catch
goes,
on
yeah,
quick.
you catch on quick. And we open up our next tell. Now this one
This one is way
is
back
very
in the
much
day.
more fairy tale-esque.
Yeah, there's a
A
genie
lot of
in it, so
yellow. A lot of yellow and blacks, and just like it just makes me feel very much like when you look at I don't know, it makes me feel like of ancient Egypt or just like ancient Rome,
Yeah.
like all these old civilizations, like when they,
Well, it feels like Hercules, the movie. Honestly, it kind of feels like that.
It just gives me that feeling. It, but it tells the story of Talia, where we come to find out when she was very young, her father showed her that men had essentially cut down and killed her. It's a dryad, I think, but it was her nanny was like a tree, essentially, and Roz, her dad, essentially told her how evil like humankind is. Like, this is somebody who raised you and took care of you, and look at what they did.
Yeah,
like that's
sure.
what they always do.
Right.
And he raised her that way and taught her like the same ways that he did, like to turn her into a warrior, to harden her heart, like to help push forward the same goal that she had or that he had, like in her. And she kept doing it because she hoped that one day she would be the next heir then. Mm-hmm. Well, for her 16th birthday, she is greeted by, or she is given a gift or a prophecy by a genie. And it's about about 3 trials she's going to go to. And it's about this little cup here. And out of the 3 trials, one will shackle it, one will dent it, and then one will mend it.
Okay.
She doesn't think of anything about this because to her, the only thing that matters is that her father's plan is sought through.
Gotcha.
Then that she be the next heir and she does everything that he's taught her to do.
Yeah.
So unknowingly, she's kind of shackled herself to him. So that's the first kind of shackling. Then it talks about how, kind of we talked about with the last week with the Son of the Demon story in the 80s of where they brought Batman was going to be the new heir of the, League of Assassins. So it tells of how her father brought Batman over, and even though they didn't like each other at first, eventually they grew into be lovers. And then, but he didn't want to be the heir, and he didn't want to have the same mission.
Crazy about this picture of Batman with no shirt, but his cowl still on.
All right, hold on. Then do I have something for you? I do. That is a direct reference to the 80s story, Mike.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
But so I'm going to find the panel, at least with the cowl, I think, and bring it up there. It's for sure in Batman the Animated Series, they redo it, and he fights Ra's al Ghul in the desert in the cowl. Huh. This is the cover, if it'll save it as an image and not a... JFIF is not a real file format.
Neither is WebP.
WebP isn't either. This is only for people who deal with images. I argue with Mike about this all the time.
We don't argue about it.
We don't argue. We agree on this, but I just bring it up very angrily.
Yeah. WebP.
WebP.
Take your WebP and pee on it.
It's not going to let me open it. Anyway, yeah, I'll show it to you afterwards. You can look it up, but it is from the 80s. He does fight Ra's al Ghul with his cowl on.
Okay. All right.
But he doesn't want to be the leader of the League of Assassins, so he leaves and breaks her heart in doing so. So therefore, actually, Mike...
I mean, that was his only choice?
Go more that way. Yeah. There you go. Well, not that far that way, but just when you lean the other way. Sorry. You can't see. It's just when you lean the other way, you hid behind the comic.
Well, what's different? I mean, that's what I normally do.
No. Yeah, but you just can't
we're
see
good.
it.
We're good, yeah.
So, by leaving, he dented her. And then she had, though, her son, who she was going to raise to be the heir. She knew that her father would never let her be the heir.
Sure.
But it would be her son. And once that was going to happen, that would kind of finally feel and heal her. But the thing is it kept going longer and longer. Mm-hmm. She felt eventually it wasn't the best place for him to be. He needed to be with his father.
Right.
And so it was never filled. The cup just kept,
well, and on the
over.
side, it keeps showing the cup got shackled. The cup is now spewing.
Mm-hmm.
The cup is,
and it's still sinking and sinking.
Yeah.
We get cut back to where we are currently in the now of where Damian is there with Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's has a sword, has Damian's sword in front of him and tells him to pick it up. Or do you fear blades now too? And Damian's just very much I don't want to kill anymore, is what he tells him. And he keeps thinking of,
He's
obviously.
flashing back to the dude without a head.
And so he tells him, kill. He's like, you think that you can even scratch me? What are you talking about? Yeah. Pick up the sword and fight me. Unless you're ready to die honorably, and then I can just take care of you that way. Well, Damian picks it up, and they end up fighting back and forth. I will say the action, there is a lot of action in here, and I love it because it's just the line work is great. Just everything. Juni does a fantastic job throughout this whole thing. Well, everybody, the entire team does. And he goes, "That's the demon I raised." As he kind of lands, and he's like, "But Grandpa, I really don't want to do this." And his mother, as she kind of steps out, and he's like, "Mom, please," and she doesn't even say anything either, too.
Yeah.
And he just kind of feels, lost. Roz essentially tells him how disappointed he is in Damian, and it leads to another giant fight as he's holding there on the end, and his grandfather walks over there. He goes, "I'm getting very weary, so here's what's going to happen, grandson. I placed a lot of expectations on you, expectations you didn't meet, and then here you're betraying me and betraying those expectations, and so there's still some use for you, though. See, there's a second option. If I can't make you turn into my heir, I'll just essentially use your body,
gotcha.
and I'll just take over your body.
So that's what he's doing with all these bodies. Got it.
And he tells him, he's like,
because nobody was going to miss them.
Exactly. He's like, the rock bird sent me enough bodies to fuel my Lazarus pit to be able to do this spell. And now all I'll do is I'll just take over your body as my own.
Yeah.
And Talia, that piques interest. She's like, hold on, we didn't talk about that. That's not. And he silences her.
Yeah.
To which she's not very happy about it, but still just like, Father, that wasn't the plan. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that's you're putting one's individual like needs above the mission. Yeah. You've taught me not to do that kind of thing. Yeah. And he goes, and that's where he essentially tells you, and how do you intend then to go fighting without me? Like, you know, I thought that I would try to, you guys can't do this without me. So how else are we going to do it? Mm-hmm. And he goes, why don't you finally just give your life purpose, Damian? And Damian looks at his grandpa and goes, I'd rather die. And he lets go of the edge that he's hanging on as he just falls down to Ra's al Ghul's surprise there into the nothingness below. And he sends Ra's sends his minions after him to fetch. So it's all darkness down there. And I do kind of love how they do this too. And we get a Damian as it falls. Wake up, kid. We got to talk. Because who he's talking to, it's the head of the guy he decapitated down there. He's like, but first, looks like they found you. And there's a battle, and he's like trying to
the ninjas
knock himself off. And he's like, your mind is more open down here. Like, I can see all your memories, all that anger. You know, he's like, poor kid just wanted to be good enough for his mommy to love him. But she was always slaving away for that demon under his boot. If I can save her from all this, we'll be free. Really? Silly kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's some heavy stuff while he's doing all this.
It is very much, yeah.
And he's like, and then all you wanted was your dad to like you too. And then he didn't, but you only disappointed him even more. You're on your own. But about that time, we get a click of light, and his mom's down there. And she's like, come on your feet. And I love this part of where all the soldiers show up, and we get the toss up of like the stick in the air, and you just hear sound effects. And when she catches it, they're all taken care of down below her. Well, she starts to try to lead him out of the cave. Talia tries to lead Damian out. And we get more laughs from the ghost that's, haunting Damian of like, you don't kill no more, and like laughing at him and stuff. Yeah. You think that cleans your soul? And it's like, remember him? And we get this ghost image of another person. And he's like, when? And it's somebody, Master Damian. And we get a throwback to a story. And the ghost that was haunting him tells him, like, you remember when you broke, like, one of your grandpa's, like, favorite vase? It was, like, this big, important vase. And you let him take the blame for it. You hid behind him because that was your right as, the grandson of the Demon King. Yeah. And what happened? Wynn got trapped down here because of you.
His soul.
Yeah. But Wynn is very much like, like, I'm happy to see you. Like, I knew
Wynn's not looking so great.
But he's like, I knew you'd be okay. And I love the scene when it shows Damian when he's like upset for how he used to be. Like, you can tell like the disappointment, but it's still like that demon face that's on him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you don't hate me? And then like Talia's just like, whatever. He was doing what he was supposed to do. Like, he knew the job when he signed up for it. And that doesn't sit well with Damian. But Wynn tells him, he's like, I asked for like the penance. I couldn't let him hurt you again. Yeah. And he goes, and I always thought that maybe I trusted if I did that and I looked out for you, that in the end you would still turn out to be good.
Yeah, get you out of this horrible life.
And so that kind of like hits Damian, and he's like, he tells him like, I let them. Yeah, he's like,
gave his life for.
He does. He's like, he tells him like, years ago I cowered behind you, and it cost your freedom, and I listened to those telling me that was my right to do so. I let them convince me that my most reliable friend deserved it, and I was too weak to prevent that. I can put an end to it now. And he tells him, he's like, I pray you find peace.
Yeah.
And he thanks him. And he finally like kind of disappears off into everything. Mm-hmm. And then Damian thanks him. And you see a moment in Talia where she's like, oh, like he's kind of starting to realize this. And then it's back. A horrible life? Really? Yeah. Is that why you did this? And the ghost kind of like fronts him. And his mom's like, who's this? And Damian tells him, like, that's the
that's the
guy I
dude,
killed
yeah.
in Gotham. Well, and he goes, nice princely little boy prancing around and chopping heads off. And then he ruins lives, then goes back to the manor and like falls asleep in his silk sheets is what he's telling him. Mother tries to stop the ghost, but Talia's no match as the ghost just kind of knocks her aside. And he tells me, he's like, I didn't have a choice. It's how I was raised and my mother. And he's like, please. He's like, she didn't do this to me.
Yeah.
Like you did.
Yeah.
I was just a nobody to you, right? He goes, do you even know who I am? Did you even care?
Yeah.
He's like, do you even know my name? Is what he yells at.
He knows all about him.
He absolutely does.
Yeah. He says, Silas Smith, 47 years old, father of two, unemployed social worker. He loves Saturn chocolate bars and wanted to get out of poverty to provide a home for his children and his own dachshund. I researched you. I think about it every day. I regret it every day.
So you see now where obviously he has thought about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's like, blood for blood, a head for a head is what he points, and he grabs it. And like Damian has the sword and he's thinking, he's like, no. He's like, I'm sorry, Silas.
Mm-hmm. Well,
really
he has
am.
all those thoughts go through him, too. It says our job is to help them get back up. That's a Batman thing. You haven't been abandoned.
He does have, he has all the things that he learned.
haven't
He
been
has,
abandoned.
well, he
That
has
was-
Nightwing. Nightwing
Yep.
tells him about to get back up. You haven't been abandoned, which was the Red Hood.
Oh, okay.
And then, I'm sorry. It's the other, you're right, though.
Yeah.
But it's all things
Yeah.
that he learned from the
Yeah.
other Robins.
It's all going
Nightwing,
through
Red
his head.
Hood.
Yeah.
And then you persevered even when it was hard. It's like lessons he's learned from the other three that came before him. And that's what he
Yeah.
tells him. He's like, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got siblings who have like taught me
Yeah.
that it's okay like to show them
Right.
that you care and all this.
Right,
And so
right.
like he gives this whole like impassioned speech
Sure.
of like how like, those people are up there are that my where's he goes? He's like, I've regretted every bit of it. But that doesn't have to be me like moving forward. If I don't help them, who will? Like the people up there.
Yep.
He goes, I can't ask for forgiveness what I did to you, to your kids. He goes, but you cared about people. And so if you really do care about people, please give me the chance to help them.
Yeah.
To which Silas is ghosted and tells him, fine, I will
But
be
he also
watching.
says, I'll be watching
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
So as they break out then, there's a nice little moment where you see then the thing that was falling and falling.
Yeah, the little jar.
Yeah.
container or
And we
whatever.
get a conversation between the two of them. And Damian goes, you left me. And she goes, I'm here now. And he goes, not the point. She goes, well, you sound a lot like your father.
Yeah.
And he goes, it was bound to happen when you gave me up to him. So they have like a nice little moment. She's like, I wish I could have you understand. And she tries to tell him then like her part of it of all like, I didn't tell you this.
He's like, screw it. Let's just go.
Yeah, to judge you. Like, yeah. But she's still trying to give her like her story of it. But
Yeah,
the
it's
thing
trying to
that
give
I
her
love,
side of it. Yeah.
the thing that I love about the narration from her as they're marching is that while she's watching him, she's filled with pride
Yeah.
of who he became. Like,
Right.
like that's honestly like through everything of her sending him off to like, to his dad and taking away from there, she succeeded. And so like she has a smile there. Like she actually has pride for her son there.
Yeah.
And as they get out to the top of the mountain, it says, I got to lean in with it. She goes, and the comfort of knowing that even at last for now, she had fortified her right to watch over him. And on his own, he'd forged a bond with another family, one she knew to call right away to do what she doubted she still had the ability to do, to remind him he deserved to feel proud too.
Yeah. And they come out of the cave, and there's like ghosts of the four people that are basically his family now.
Yep. Well, they're all there. It's not ghosts. They all are
no,
there.
they're
We come to
actually
find
there.
out
Oh, okay.
as we get into our final issue.
They look like ghosts.
They do. Well, it's because it's gone in the background way. But we get into our final issue where we don't have a setup. Merle just starts telling you straight up about Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
He was born back in the 1400s. He found the Lazarus pit. It talks about like he tried to use like leaders to get his plans
Right.
happening, but
Right.
like Napoleon failed him. The Ming Dynasty failed him. It's like everything he tries to set up, it just ends.
Yeah.
So he decided he'd have to do it himself.
He looks a lot like Wolverine.
He does kind of.
Yeah.
I think it's the hair on the side.
It is.
but he's getting older, and so it talks about how like he would like strengthen himself in the Lazarus pits and like train himself, but eventually over time the Lazarus pit wasn't keeping him alive as much as it seems like it's starting to slowly now eat away at him.
Okay.
Of where
too much of a good thing.
Exactly. Of where he's not the same Roz as he used to. Like something's kind of off there a bit. We get some nice fights between him and Damian, like some great action, while everybody else in the Bat family is either taking care of the other like minions or they're rescuing the people that he has there.
Right.
Like
and
they're
you see the
saving
old
people.
lady.
And it's the same thing that they're doing. It's like, Dick Grayson, like, oh, are you okay? Like making sure it's all the lessons they've learned still through there.
What do you call those things that Red Hood is fighting with?
Oh, I don't know.
The handles and stuff on them.
The handles and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I don't know what they're called.
It's not
though.
a katana.
No, the katana's a sword.
Oh, okay.
It's
not a devil stick.
No, it's not.
Those are the things that you flip back and forth.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Roz gets a nice little. Oh, here, I wanted to save this. As they were talking, like Red Robin goes, "You think he'll get to Damian in time?"
Yeah.
And Red Hood goes, "He was on his way the second Nightwing called him."
Here he goes.
And so Roz and Damian are fighting. And you hear Red Hood goes, he knows what it means for Robin to need help.
Yeah.
And as Roz gives just this nice kick and knocks Damian to the ground, he walks over and he goes, and Talia was waiting for him to show him the way to Roz's pit. Don't worry, Damian isn't alone. And about that time,
I warned you.
And then you get a nice, it's a full page in a splash in here. It's single on for us,
Yeah,
but he
it's
goes,
pretty badass,
"Don't touch
honestly.
my
Yeah,
son."
pretty badass.
As he just punches,
Punches the shit out of him.
shit out of him for
Yeah,
sure.
no
No, there's no better way to put it. This leads to, he goes, "Oh, how nice." Roz does. The father, the mother, and the mistake.
Gee.
Yeah, and they all kind of fight. He fights all three of them there.
Ghul's not very nice.
He's not very
Not
nice.
a very nice guy.
And he's still a badass, like fighting all three of
sure.
them while
Yeah.
he can. Like there's a point where the two
Well,
of
he
them
has been around for
forever.
1,000
That's
plus
true.
years. So,
and with all the Lazarus pit and stuff. But there's a point where he like breaks off Damian's sword and he's holding it in his hand and he stabs Talia with it. So like he's just a badass in all of this.
600 and something.
600, yeah. But still, that's
Almost
a long
700
time.
Years, yeah.
And then we get to this last, like he knocks the two of them down, and it's a one-on-one essentially between Roz and Batman. And you get like a detective. Where he
Well,
goes
you get
after
a lot
everything.
you get a lot of fighting.
You
here,
do.
huh?
Like we'll be able to go through this part pretty quick.
Bam,
He's
bam,
like,
bam, 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 whoosh, pow, clack.
it does. But I also love like the little things of where it's like, Roz grabs Batman's hand and he drops the smoke pellet and there's like a sense of surprise on his like the art's done so
Yeah,
well in all this.
yeah.
But there is a lot of just like fighting back and
He
forth.
calls him detective.
He does call him
It's
detective.
very funny.
But after the blast goes off,
Because I don't think there's two people that know each other better
then
these
Roz
two.
and Batman
Yeah.
no, for sure. And I'll tell you this, spoiler, if you play, I have it downloaded because I love, and I've never played through Gotham Knights. I need to. I love all the Arkham Batman games.
Yeah.
Like Arkham Asylum, well, you know what I'm, but no, you play them.
Arkham.
The most recent one that they did, the Arkham Knights, which is Batman's dead in it, so you play as either Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, or Red Hood. But it opens with Ra's al Ghul is the one who kills Batman, and that's the thing. Like the fight is you're right. He knows him better than anybody else.
they know
All
each
that
other.
long convoluted thing to say that.
Well, and then you get this flashback to how he trained him, and he knew he was the first one to put blades in his hands and all
Exactly.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Like as Damian's watching like Bruce and Ra's fight. It does lead to though eventually Damian does step in and goes, after all of his efforts, all those attempts, how did he impact the world? Which is a question is asked at the beginning of the episode. And Damian knocks Ra's back into the pit.
Just throws him in the pit.
Yep. And the pit he's going to, and Talia's like, no, wait. There's something wrong. Like Father, there has to be a reason why Father hadn't been using the pit anymore.
Yeah.
And he goes to pull him out as he's like, screaming in there, and they pull out an old, frail man.
Well, I do like this one thing here. It says he'd clung to that pit like he'd clung to everything else. Eventually, everything you selfishly cling to becomes poison. which is cool. It's a great bit of writing.
It is. And they pull him out, and you can see it's just an old, kind of like shriveled up man. And he's like, I know what you're going to say, and I'm aware of everything he did. Talia's telling that. He goes, but he's still my father. Yeah. And you see, and this
he says, oh, hello.
Oh, well then, but then he goes, you seem nice. Yeah. So warm.
He's just,
do you know where my daughter is? Yeah. He's like completely out of it. But honestly, in that moment, for her, like, it's like he cares about his daughter.
Yeah.
And Batman's just like, there's still a crime. And she's like, no, you're not taking him. And Damian goes, it's all right, Dad. Like, just look at him. Like, he's just so old. Yeah. I was scared of that. And Talia's like, Rock, is everything ready? And he's like, yep, come on. And she tells him, he's like, I suppose now it's my turn. Like, hopefully I can correct the trajectory my father has made on all this. But I wish both of you would come with me. But I know better than to ask that. And so Rock just kind of sits there and encompasses all of them, and they just disappear.
Go poof.
Yep, as Batman kind of pulls down his mask, and he's like, I'm surprised to see you let her go this time. And he's like, you shouldn't. Or you shouldn't presume to say...
people from their own choices.
Yep, thank you. Right. And he's like, yeah, it took me a long time to learn that. And they kind of have like this nice little moment, Bruce and Damian do. He goes, son, I'm sorry I let you deal with this like all alone. Like, I wish... I'd known how to. And he goes, I wasn't alone. Like, from the moment I took on that mantle of Robin before, like, there's been other Robins before me.
He's got his family.
He's like, yeah, that's what he essentially tells him. And we get like, a cut of like all of them, like Tim Drake kind of like playfully punching Jason Todd in the shoulder, and like, Dick and Barbara leading everybody that was trapped kind of out of there. Right. And that's what, he's like,
Batman looks a lot like a professor from Powerpuff Girls.
Professor,
there,
Professor X. Whatever. I don't remember. Yeah. And he goes, but if my
Chemical
mother,
X.
Yeah, well, that's true. He tells him, he's like, if it's okay, is it okay that I want to change how we impact the world? Like, he tells him, like, I don't want to do it the way they did, but I do want to. Yeah. And Batman tells him, he's like, no, I expected nothing less. Yeah. And we get back to the warehouse where
Merle being held hostage.
He goes, and the prince went home with a whole new plan. The end. And he goes, now you want to, or how you want to impact the world is what he thinks to himself. So he takes out his knife and he uncuts her. Mm-hmm. And it pops down and he goes, finally, you hear from the rafters. And she goes, see, told you I could handle it. Yeah. Didn't need any punching or anything. Yeah. And so you find out that Damian's been there the whole time just watching. But since she was like part of the Robins, we find out it's this group that we'll go to. And she goes, didn't give any names. Or he goes, you gave up a lot of sensitive information for all that too. And she's like, I didn't give any names, and I can vouch for him. He's not a bad guy. He's just going through a rough patch, and all he needs is options and some faith in him. And so Robin goes, like your dad?
Yeah.
Did you see the panel?
I saw it. Yeah.
We come to find out Merle is the daughter of Silas, who he beheaded early. Mm-hmm. So Robin has made it a point to follow and watch her and make sure she's, kept safe. And in turn, she's joined kind of the Robins then too. And she tells Joe of like, hey, what we've done is, we're not Batman, but like we want to go out and help any way we can.
Yeah.
So there's a collective of us that have kind of like, gotten together.
So they're kind of like deputies almost,
in a way.
Deputy Robins.
But they're not like, it's just they're a group of like, they go out and they try to help the community and like, help the world, make the world they want.
Cleft palate?
I think so, yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It took me a while to do that, but yeah. Huh. So, and he tells them like, we do what we want to do, so we know how we can impact the world.
Yeah. And theirs is through assistance and helping. And
exactly. And he's like,
making sure people are safe.
Do you want to too? And he hands him like a badge, and Joe takes his head off and like accepts it. And that's where we have
hat, not head.
Hat, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Not head.
Doesn't take his head off.
Takes his hat off, and then he accepts it. And then we got our epilogue where it's all of them kind of out, just like hanging around.
Yeah.
But what happens is the speech that's over there isn't them talking. It's like a radio interview. This is another reference from the 80s and into the 90s. I think they made her a radio host in the 90s because it says, where is it at? It talks about.
Not what's her face, is it?
No, it's not Vicky Vale. Vesper Fairchild. because he goes, "Welcome to the Vesper Talk," is what it says there. Vesper.
No, I was thinking it was
a radio host in
that
Gotham.
singing superhero woman that we covered in like one issue that was supposed to go on
Nightcat?
tour. I thought it was
Nightcat?
Nightcat.
Oh,
That
that
would
would
have
be so
been a
great.
really cool pull.
Marvel. That's Marvel, though, not DC.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Dang it.
No, it's not Nightcat. But
What a cool pull that would have been. Though.
yeah,
That would have been great.
But the radio voiceover just closes us out really
Yeah.
well. It's like, citizens of Gotham, welcome to Vesper Talk on WXYZ Radio. Tonight's show is sponsored by the Robins. We love stories of heroes, individuals who inspire us to do greatness. But it often feels like that makes the great, or what makes them great escapes us. That we're not kind enough, tough enough, clever enough. And it focuses on each of the Robins as it does that. But it essentially tells them, we haven't got to the, I don't have the sketches in here yet. But it goes, if we weren't nothing, it's like I'm sure they feel the same way about that too. But like, self-pity only keeps you from taking responsibility and your mistakes and seeing the hands extended to you, the forgiveness for your shortcomings, the potential you represent when united. And it's all of them kind of like, flying off together.
Cool.
Thank you.
Story.
Let's rebuild the world together. The end. What were you showing in the sketch?
No, it's just the one that says the freaking Batman. I like that a lot.
Well,
yeah, that's nice.
I love, because you know what that's kind of in reference to. Why I look at that when I read that, I was thinking of the GD Batman that we covered.
Oh,
in,
yeah.
Yeah. But there you go. So,
well, I will
wonder.
say that is the best one that you've brought. That one had the most heart.
spoiler alert, we're going to talk later in the week about what your favorite was.
Yeah, okay. Well, and I can change.
We'll talk more. We'll dive into more about it. But
Spoiler alert, it's that one.
spoiler alert, it's mine too.
pretty much, yeah.
That I love that story.
That is
I
a
thought it
good
was really
story. That is a really good story. Yeah.
So there you go. Part 2 of The Boy Wonder by Juni Ba here on Bros, Foes, and
Good job,
Heroes.
Juni Ba.
We got one more Robin episode where we're just it'll be quick, and we're just gonna get all of our Robin thoughts out, and I might reply to some comments and stuff too, just making it like a fun all over the place episode, and then
so
we'll
if
get
it
into
was
Halloween
Rockin'
stuff.
Robin Summer, what is it going to be after that?
It's Halloween season.
Okay.
Are you talking about for Robin?
No. I mean, we seem to have been lighting on these themes.
I have to come up with one.
Okay.
It's a spook. It's the spooktacular,
spooky.
But that's just one
spooks,
thing.
spooks.
We need like a month.
Yeah.
It's spooky season on Bros,
Okay.
Foes, and Heroes that we can do better.
Yeah, we can do
anyway,
better
thank
now.
you guys for taking the time out to watch, to listen, for everything.
Casper, though, right?
Yes, we
Got
are
some
going
Casper.
to get a Casper in. I can promise
the
you
friendly
that.
ghost.
Yeah, he is.
I've only said that like 4 times.
Unless
so
maybe
far.
sometimes he's not. But
God,
thank
I
you
would
guys.
love that if Casper's just a dick. In one of
I
these
need
things.
to
That would be
find an
so good.
episode. That's what I need to do. Is I need to find the episode where Casper is a dick. Then
Maybe he's a jerk to Baby Huey because they're both. What is that? Who made those? Who made Casper and
Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Harvey did, and the little redheaded girl too. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, and it wasn't Dot.
No, it might be. I don't know.
Maybe it was
Mike's
Dot.
got to get out of here. I don't need to keep him any longer. Thank you guys for taking the time out to watch, to listen, to comment, everything. We appreciate it so much.
That's good.
Make sure to check out the Rogue Media Network and Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
Thank you guys. And until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Golly Khan.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.